To go through some issues that are a topic of Full House. There were very serious issues on Full House, and if you're very sensitive to the subject, please don't watch. And don't tell me you join my channel then unsubscribe, okay? If you're gonna unsubscribe, I don't care. But if you can't handle the subject tonight and this topic, then don't watch my channel and don't go on it then. Because most of my channel has to do with ghost stories, paranormal, urban legends, and theories. Please be respectful. Let's go on to the topic of the serious issues faced on the show Full House. Now, there were several serious issues that were topicked on Full House, and there's one I have to make a point. There was the issue about child abuse. They didn't talk too much about it because it was usually a comedy, but there were very serious social issues on it, and this very serious topic was about child abuse. Now, there was an episode where Stephanie met a boy named Charles, and he goes to her house, and he seemed okay at first. And then he shared a very dark and disturbing secret that this is a hard topic for me, okay? Now I have to, this is a social topic that could disturb some viewers, so if you're not into this kind of subject, I'm warning you, please don't watch. Now, you can watch if you want, but if you don't like this stuff and tell me you want to unsubscribe because of the topics disturb you, please don't watch this. I'm only saying this as educational purpose. I don't mean to go and do the things that I'm going to talk about. So here are the subjects. Okay, so there's one episode where Stephanie has a friend. She met a friend at school. His name was Charles. And Charles revealed a secret to Stephanie that no child should ever reveal, that he was being abused at home. And this topic, subject about child abuse, that is why it's a very serious topic. And I think it should be issued in some of these shows, but they don't really show too much because it's a show that was made for a family or a younger audience. But the serious subject in this was about child abuse, and child abuse was a very serious issue, and it was in the 90s. So this guy is a grown up now. The guy who plays Charles, he's probably a grown up now. But when you watch it, you feel sad for the boy Charles, that you feel awful this has happened to him. So it kind of makes you feel for the kid, even though he's not your kid. Sometimes you get the feeling that something's not right, okay? But these are social issues topicked on Full House that people missed out because they like the show so much and they just like the comedian side of the show. Another subject that was topicked on Full House is about bullying. And bullying is a very serious issue. It has very serious side effects. Some people get depressed being bullied. Some people feel isolated being bullied, alone. But you're not alone. You got so many people in this situation. This is a very serious social issue about bullying that it should be addressed. That people don't realize how serious the issue is. And it's very disturbing because some people don't like living because they're being bullied or they feel depressed or lonely. If you know someone who's being bullied, please get help. Tell them to get help. Either they call a crisis line or a prevention line. Get the person help. If you knew that little boy Charles in the show Full House who was being abused, if you know someone or a friend being abused, please get help for them because it's a very serious issue. And there's hotlines you can call if you're depressed or lonely or isolated, please get help. I am begging people to get help if they have an anger issue. You can get help for your anger. There's no way you can stand alone to take it. Get help. The help you need is out there. That's one of the subjects. Now, I don't say this usually, and I don't really like making videos like this, but right now I am. So I'm going to topic the subjects for tonight, and they're very serious. If you don't like these subjects, I recommend to find another video I made that is of a brighter side. So just reminding you that not all topics are serious in this site. Now, let's go through this. Another subject that was topicked on Full House that might disturb you and might make you feel very emotional and sad for the person going through it is eating disorders. Teenage girls who want to look like a supermodel because they want to fit in a club, or they don't fit in a bathing suit, so they want to fit in because they feel that if they fit in, that people will accept them. Now, if you feel that way, you should get help. You should go to someone, see a counselor or a doctor, or someone who's qualified to treat that kind of thing. Because eating disorders can be very serious and they have very serious side effects. I am no doctor. My dad used to be a doctor and he used to talk about eating disorders a little bit. But he didn't really treat them, but he had people who would have them. I can't tell you their names, confidential, but if you know someone who has an eating disorder, please get them help. Don't stand back and let them suffer alone. Let them know they're not alone and that they have a friend they can count on, or a trusted neighbor. Get help if you feel that way. The worst thing to do is bottle your anger inside you. Never do that. Another topic that has been issued on Full House, I noticed this on Full House, is peer pressure. Peer pressure and people being killed by a drunk driver, and that's part of peer pressure, and teens being pressured into smoking and drinking because their friends are doing it. Just because someone's doing it doesn't make it cool, and it's not a good thing. If you feel you have to be pressured into doing something, don't do it. Do the right thing. Get help. Tell the person if they have a problem drinking, there's people who can treat them. There's Alcoholic Anonymous. There's people out there who are qualified professionals who can treat people like that. Now, I'm just saying this for myself, for your own being, and people's personal health is important. The most important thing is to get help if you feel that way. Okay. Now, another subject I noticed on Full House, that topic was, we topic child abuse, we topic peer pressure, we topic eating disorders, and we topic bullying. Another topic on the Full House was going through a traumatic event. It could be anything. If you're going through a traumatic event, you need help. You need someone to talk to or someone to be there. It's not going to go away overnight. If you know someone suffering, a child, an adult, or even a toddler, get them help because they need help, because they're not recovered. Whatever traumatic event is causing this, you need to go back to what happened. And maybe a therapist is the only way to get them out of it, or if it's a child, a pediatrician, or someone who treats that kind of thing. But people need help if they're not accepting their parents going to work for a little bit, or someone, you got to learn a bit of independence. Doesn't matter. If you feel that way, you should get help. Anyways, I'm not here to tell people what to do. But if people feel that depressed, talk to someone. Don't bottle it inside you. It's not a good idea. I do that sometimes and I shouldn't. There's always people you can talk to. It seems scary, right? The thought that they're going to put medication on you, they're going to probably you feel that you're going to be put in jail if you talk about it, but you won't. There's people out there who will listen. Another social subject that I noticed on Full House is grieving. And this is a normal process on anyone who's lost a spouse or a loved one or even a friend. You have to talk about it. Grieving is a very serious process that happens to all of us. And I bet you one time in your life you're going to go through a grieving period or lose someone close to you, and it's very hard to deal with, to accept that someone's gone. People don't accept grieving, they don't accept loss. If your best friend died, you're going to be depressed, and it's going to linger a bit. Grieving is a period. People go through it. It can happen to all of us. So if you're going through a hard time, please get help. I recommend it, because if you don't, then the grieving process will get worse. You need to talk to someone and let it all out. Sometimes letting off steam is a good thing. I'm not talking about rudeness, I'm talking about letting off steam. Another subject dealt with in Full House was the subject of not having a mother. And some children don't have a mother, and it's very hard on them because they don't have a female to talk to about their problems. And it's hard on a child because they're going through this rough period. They don't have a mother. Who are they going to count on? But some people are lucky and they have an aunt or a sister or a sibling that can help them, but they're not always going to be there. So you have to get help if you're grieving that way. Also, not having a mother is very hard on a child or even an adult, because people count on their mother for everything. That's another subject that was discussed on Full House, but you didn't know too much. There was one episode with Stephanie who got upset when she went to a party and she found out she didn't have a mother and all the other girls had a mother, and that was very hard on her because she didn't understand. She was a child. What was she to do? It's very hard on a child because, children depend on their parents or an adult to take care of them, to feed them, to send them to school, to walk them to the bus. Who's gonna walk them to the bus? Another thing that I found very disturbing is, okay, so we topicked all those, and that's the theory for today. The social pressure subjects of Full House. And I'm going to put out a little notice, and this is a PSA announcement. If you feel you can't take it anymore, you feel overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're going through a hard time, then maybe you should think about getting a therapist or someone to help you, because there is help out there. Don't suffer alone if you're depressed. And get help and have a nice day and enjoy the evening. Good night.